The aerospace industry has this interesting design dichotomy called red-blue. A red design is when you take an existing plane and you make incremental improvements to it. An example of this would be the Boeing 737 MAX or Airbus A320neo, both of which have gotten new engines and new winglets. Then you have the blue design, which is when you take all your R&D effort and technology you developed and put it into a clean sheet design. An example of this would be the Boeing 787 or Airbus A350, both of which have an extensive use of composite materials. Composite materials that I help engineer on, because I was an engineer on both programs. If the plane crashes, it wasn't my fault. Hopefully. But these two different design theories, red and blue, they're debated tremendously in the boardrooms of these aerospace companies because it's a big decision. Do you do something evolutionary, red, or revolutionary, blue? That same kind of debate rages on in the iRacing forums about, every 3 months when there's a new build launched. There's always a group who want blue. They want new cars, new track, new stuff, every build. Then you have a group that's red that says, we don't want new stuff, we just want you to improve on what we already have. Well, 2016 was certainly a blue year. There was a ton of new releases from the McLaren Honda MP430, Nürburgring Nordschleife, Mercedes AMG GT3, Audi R8 LMS GT3, Formula Renault 2.0, DX11, Imola, Le Mans, and even post-Season 4 build cars, the Audi 90 GTO and Nissan GTP ZXT. That's a lot of blue. Season 1 2017 was also setting up to be a blue build with the forthcoming dirt content coming to iRacing, mostly oval dirt at this point. But unfortunately, iRacing wasn't able to quite hit the Season 1 deadline, so we don't have it, but it does sound like it's almost in alpha testing, so it sounds not too far away, which is very cool. But without the new dirt content, where does this leave Season 1 2017? Well, it leaves it as a red build.
Do you have a butt kicker or transducer that's not getting the job done? Is it shaking to just the low-end sounds? What if it shook when it was supposed to? SimVibe is an advanced multi-dimensional audio-based feedback software that utilizes 1 to 8 bass transducers and provides the correct physics-based vibrations throughout your simulator. This can greatly enhance immersion and drivability. All you need is one shaker, an extra sound card, and SimVibe software. To check it out for yourself, go to simexperience.com and then click on products and then SimVibe.
So the first improvement of the Season 1 2017 build that we'll take a look at is World State Triple Buffering. Essentially the goal of this triple buffering is to remove some of the choppiness that has snuck into the simulation over the last handful of builds. Apparently iRacing in its current state is struggling a little bit with drawing distance, which is a term we haven't heard in a while in sim racing. Back in old titles, such as NASCAR Racing 2003, which was a Pyrrhus title, which many of you know Pyrrhus turned into iRacing, you would actually see the track drawing in front of you. You'd see nothing off in the distance, but then the track would be growing in front of you as you went down the straightaway or around the corner, especially big tracks like Daytona, for example. Well, in modern sim racing, we don't see that anymore, but it doesn't mean that that effect isn't happening. And essentially that drawing wasn't happening fast enough if your computer was being overwhelmed from graphics side, or if there were too many cars in your session also taking up memory, and then you would get some choppiness. And you actually do see some choppiness here in the comparison between the current build and the new Season 1 build. You also notice that the frame rates have been improved a little bit, not a lot, but they don't seem to quite dip as much, which that's always a good thing. While we have the McLaren queued up here at Imola, let's talk about the next feature, the hands-over steering wheel improvement. 9 cars in the Season 1 build have received the hands-over steering wheel animation, which does exactly what it says, makes the animation of the hands look a lot more realistic when the wheel is turned at greater than 180 degrees in either direction. As you see with the Season 4 2016 build, this was not possible, and if anything, this was probably done for those of you who race in VR, and it can be kind of odd going into tight corners and seeing your virtual hands, which in this case in VR are your real hands, only turn 180 degrees and not follow your actual input. Another new feature related to open-wheel cars are the new Visor Tear-Offs. So now when you're driving an open-wheel car in iRacing, your visor actually gets covered in dirt and debris. This was an effect I was able to experience a little bit. I imagine that it would be a lot more severe when you're racing around traffic and you have rubber bits getting kicked up. But in solo testing, I was able to get a little bit of dirt and smudges on my visor, and then I was able to click a program button on my wheel and clear my visor. And it appears like you get as many clean visors as you like. At this point, there's no hand animation for the Visor Tear-Offs, but maybe that's something we'll see in the future. But tear-offs are certainly getting people ready for the incoming dirt content, where that will be very important so you can see. One of the cooler new features of the Season 1 2017 build is a new heat haze effect. The effect aims to create an appearance of heat shimmer, a visible distortion in the air. The effect is tied to ambient and track temperatures, and the effect can be toggled on or off in the graphics options. In testing this effect, I set up 3 different weather scenarios. The first time out, I took temperature as high as I could to 90 degrees Fahrenheit, and also bumped the humidity up to 90 for good measure, and I could really see the shimmer effect on a sunny day at Indianapolis. After seeing that effect and wondering, is that overdone, or what would it be like if I turned the temperature down? I turned the temperature down to 75 degrees Fahrenheit and 75% humidity, and again went on a sunny day at Indianapolis, and again you could see the shimmer effect, and it was a little less than what it was at 90 degrees, but not too much so. So lastly, I was wondering to myself, okay, if the shimmer effect is still happening at 75 degrees and it's sunny, what happens when it's overcast at 75 degrees? And the answer was, pretty much the heat shimmer disappeared, which is exactly what I would think it would do. So I found this option to be pretty cool and a nice little addition to the sim. Also, while I was at Indianapolis, I checked out the new Behind the Wall Pit Guys animation. Setting your pit road graphics to high will give you fully animated pit crew characters. If you set it to medium, they'll stay static as they currently are. Low, you won't have any pit crew members, but you will have the war wagon and refueling and all that kind of stuff. And off means you'll have nothing behind the pit wall at all. I found the pit crew animation to be pretty cool looking, and it also got me curious, what are they talking about? Should we be paying attention to the car right now? No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. God, I can't stand Sable. He's so annoying. He was so pretentious, going on earlier about some red-blue thing. Oh, you mean those old Halo videos? I love those. No. Those were great. That was funny. No. Something about aerospace or something. I don't know. I can't stand listening to him. Let's just stand here and keep talking and ignoring him, and more hands. Let's look busy. Under the Don't Be Naughty for Christmas category is a new ability to save voice chat in your replays of your competitors. That means when you get wrecked by someone or wreck yourself, and you go and say, "Go you're stupid, you're dumb as a why did I come Saurus," that you'll probably be getting an email from Nimcross. Lastly, the only significant improvement that was made to one of the cars of the sim are the V8 Supercars and the new tire construction and compound that they received. The changes are supposed to help out and produce more realistic grip levels and improve drivability around the limit, increase degradation, and improve outlap grip in cold ambient conditions. To test this, I fired up Bathurst and I turned temperature down as low as it can go, 65 degrees Fahrenheit, for a morning session, and gave it a whirl. And what did I find? I found that the Holden is still extremely difficult to drive on the first lap out of the pits, and it still feels like you're skating around quite a bit. but after that first lap and a little bit of temperature into the tires, it does get a little bit easier to drive. But I will say, I haven't driven the V8 Supercar in a long time, and back when I used to drive it on the regular, it really was skating around and felt like I had no grip. It feels better now, but the car still doesn't feel quite as into the track as some other cars in iRacing feel, like the Nissan ZX-T, which I know has a lot more downforce, but still that car overall feels more in the racetrack and connected than the Holden V8 Supercar does, and I assume the Ford, same physics. So hopefully those physics move a little more in that direction and make these cars just feel a little more secure, because I love watching V8 Supercars on TV, and while they're a handful and they have a lot of horsepower, they never look like they're quite sliding to the degree that they are here in iRacing. So with that, that wraps up the improvements for the Season 1 2017 build of iRacing. Yes, it wasn't a blue build with a whole bunch of new cars and tracks and whatnot, but it's a nice little red build that does improve on what we currently have, which once in a while, you need to have one of these type of builds. So as always, thanks for watching Inside Sim Racing. Enjoy the video, please give it a like, subscribe, check out isrtv.com, and click on the Amazon affiliate links below and shop through Amazon. It doesn't cost you a thing and kicks back a little bit to us. So for John Sable, thanks again for watching Inside Sim Racing. See you guys next time.